What's up, Big Bear Nation? Welcome back to the homestead. So today is a busy day. The very first thing that we have to do is make room for the broiler chicks that are coming this week. We have a bunch in the seed room, but we have to move some of them out to be able to use those brooders for those birds coming. So the very first thing that we're gonna need to do is move our birds that we have out here into a different brooder, because the brooder that they're in is set up so that you can put younger chicks in there because there's a wall and just a small gap, and then that way we can keep it warmer in there and not have as much drafts. So we're going to take those birds out of there, put them into the new tractor that Carol finished for me. We started it last year, but we just didn't need it, and so we never finished the project. So Carol got out here, fixed it for us. So we're gonna move those birds into there. Gives them a little bit more open space, a little bit more sunlight, because they are at the laying age. So let's get that done first. Whew, so now that's done. Now we gotta get the babies that are not really babies anymore. They're old enough to be outside. We're gonna bring them from in the house, bring them out here, and get them moved into their new place. And hopefully they'll really like it, because they'll be on grass. They won't be, you know, standing in all of those wet wood chips and stuff like that. So it was very hard trying to keep up with that, keep everything dry for them. We're having to dump everything out every couple of days. And now they're big enough that they can come out here. They've feathered out. So let's go ahead and move them over. You know, every year it seems like there's something different that we're trying to focus on. And this year, I have to say that it is definitely chickens. And I don't know if that's eggs or meat, what that looks like, but I just know that I want to be more sustainable with that. And so I'm really having to make a few decisions here quicker than I probably thought I would. All of those bantams that we have in the backyard, I'm going to be using obviously for pest control, but also they do give us some eggs. And as of right now, I've just been giving them to our dog. But I found out one thing that I'm not exactly thrilled about. When I bought the bantams, I was under the impression that all bantams are broody, they're great for that, blah, 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 blah. Well, learn from me and do your research, because 4 of the chickens that I ended up with, those beautiful brown and black chickens, those I believe are sea brights. And if you look them up, from what I can tell, they don't really lay a lot of eggs, and they're not very broody. So I'm gonna have 4 pet chickens. I'm not sure how I feel about that right now. And speaking of pet chickens, this tractor behind me, I'm starting to feel like is my holding pen for all of the chickens that I need to cull. I've been giving them a lot of feed, a lot of sun, and I'm really not getting the eggs that I think I should be getting in here. I have 10 hens in here, and on average I'm only picking up 3 eggs a day, and that's a problem. So I do know that these girls are a little bit older, and I was planning by the end of the year to cull them, but I have a feeling they're probably gonna go sooner rather than later, because I need the space. If they're not going to be producing eggs, then they can go and I can bring somebody else out here. So I was recently at a retreat, and a lot of people, you know that I homestead and raise birds and raise pigs and all of that stuff. And somebody asked me, yeah, they said that you have a lot of chickens. Like, how many do you have? And I was like, well, once I get my broilers, I'm gonna have over 200 chickens on my property. And they thought that was crazy. And I think sometimes I think that's crazy too. But then I start doing the math in my head. I have, in this pen right here, we finally moved out those broilers. So there's 17 here. And then I'll have 100 meat birds. So over half of them are strictly for meat. And then the other half of that half are probably going to be either cold or pet chickens. And then the majority of the rest of those are going to be layers. So it's not like they're all just living rent-free on my property. We do intend to either eat them or eat their eggs and then eat them. So I know it sounds a little crazy to have that many birds, but in order to be sustainable, this is what we needed to do. And also, I'm getting ready to incubate some more eggs once I can get an incubator that works. I bought this incubator last year. It worked great. We went to plug it back in this year. No good. So we went and replaced it with the same brand, thinking it was just somehow we stored it wrong over the winter. And we barely got 7 chickens out of 40 eggs. And the humidity and the temperature were just wonky. And then once I cleaned it out and went to reset it to use it again, it doesn't work. So we're looking for a new incubator. If any of you guys have any kind of suggestions on that, I would love to see those down in the comments. I'm not looking for one that's, you know, several $100s. I'm looking for a capacity anywhere between 20 and 40 eggs at a time. So if you have any suggestions, anything that worked really well for you, I would absolutely love to hear your suggestions on that. So far, the chicken adventure of 2023 is doing well. We haven't had any casualties, and it looks like we're gonna be covered in chickens this year, which is a good thing because we like to eat a lot of chicken here on the Big Bear Homestead. So thank you for stopping by the Big Bear Homestead. God bless y'all, and have a nice day.